got 4 varieties to choose from up there.
This is the best day of my life.
Yeah. We are now joined by the race winner for today's Andy's Frozen Custard 300 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the winner, the NASCAR Xfinity Dash for Cash, and that is Sam Mayer, driver of the #1 Carolina Carport Chevrolet. .002, the margin of victory. Is that sunk in yet?
That's unreal. I mean, I was like a second and a half back probably at one point. So to make up that much time in that little amount of time is certainly unreal. It shows how good our Carolina Carport Chevrolet was today. We definitely took a lot of swings at it to get it better. But obviously we led the most important lap there at the end, and we didn't dominate by any means, but we certainly worked our tails off to get there at that point. And yeah, to win it like that I was on the short end of that stick a couple times. So to come out on top is really cool.
Okay, we're going to open up the floor for questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We're going to start here with Justin and go to Jonathan.
Yeah, Justin Schuler kicking the tires. Just, I guess, walk us through the last few laps, though. Like, at what point did you see Ryan's car getting bigger in your windshield, and it crossed your mind that I have a chance, I have a shot at this?
It really wasn't until about 3 to go that I was like, okay, I can at least have a run at it. Honestly, the big winner of the day was Kevin on top of the roof, Kevin Hamlin. He spots for the 48 on Sundays and came over to spot for me last year, starting last year and this year. And he's made leaps and bounds for myself and my driving style, and fighting the adversity throughout the race and keeping me in the game. And he told me bottom of 3 and 4 was just better. I didn't run it at all. I wasn't running it the previous 4 or 5 laps. He just said, do it. You have to do it. And I ran it the first time, and it was like, oh, it stuck really, really well. So that's kind of what put that in my head, and I started doing that with like 3 or 4 to go. And before I knew it, I was right there on the 39th bumper. So he probably is the one that won that race. I'm not good enough yet to where I would have found that on my own without him. So literally everyone had a hand in this victory. Marty brought a brand new setup to this place, and it was way different than what we've ever dreamed of coming here with. And it definitely took some work to get it right. But once it was good, it was really, really good. So I'm super proud of everyone on top of the box, everyone in the shop building these race cars, Kevin on top of the roof. I just ended up going out there and driving the thing. I drove it as hard as I could those last couple laps and got loose a couple times, but just kept my foot in it because I'm not coming out here without a trophy. I mean, look at this thing. So it's just super cool to be here and have this opportunity to do that. And getting a win this early in the season compared to last year and the year prior I didn't win at all. It feels really good to get a victory, especially at a place that I didn't even get 1 lap at last year. So
it's impressive. We'll go next to Jonathan, then to Bob, then to Lee.
Thank you, Matt. Jonathan Field, the racing experts, knowing the type of race you had, you weren't necessarily the best, and the type of year you had, where I remember you called it the year from hell. How big is a win like this? Especially with your development and everything.
Yeah, like last weekend at Martinsville, having a shot at the win. That's all you can ask for at that place. I feel like we kind of got one robbed from me there at the end, but I told myself I'm going to come back stronger than ever. I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm going to let me push it forward. And it was my best finish of the year last year. I think it was my first top 5 of the year. So, like, when I say it was a year from hell, I was just in shambles at that point. So to get a couple of good runs here the last 2-3 weeks and build that momentum up and get better and better each week, we're going to ride the wave the best we can. Obviously, we probably didn't have a winning race car today. I think the 7 was really good. He was hard to keep up with, but the way the cautions fell, the strategy, everything. I actually came to pit road a couple laps earlier than I was supposed to because there was a miscommunication, but it ended up working in our favor, and we got the caution that we really kind of needed to get that track position, and everyone squared back up. So everything kind of happened for a reason. The good Lord works in mysterious ways, that's for sure, but super proud of my guys and looking forward to keeping it rolling.
Go to Bob, then to Lee, then to Tad.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. What do you think this win kind of does for you or means for you, considering, I mean, it could very easily be gone very, I mean, you could have wrecked right on the last lap going for a win, and then who knows where your season goes, right? So I'm trying to look at this win from that perspective of what do you feel like it means and what does it say about how far you've come as a race car driver?
Yeah, I mean, I was less than a foot from not sitting here in the media center. So, I mean, you got to take it in perspective of you still got to get better. We have to go find more speed. Our JRM cars are getting better each and every week, but we're certainly not at the level we want or need to be at yet. And we kind of had everything falling into place. The stars aligned today. I executed how I needed to. The team on pit road did too. Like, everyone did their jobs the way they're supposed to. We just got to be a little better. The ceiling is going to continue to get higher and higher and higher as the year progresses, because the Gibbs cars aren't going to give up. The RCR cars aren't going to give up. No one's going to give up on just, we're on second today. So the ceiling's always getting higher. You're always going to have to come back and run faster. I'm going to have to do a better job in the gym. I'm going to have to do a better job being at the race shop with all my guys. I'm doing the best I can, but it's got to be more. So we're going to show up next week and the week after and the week after, and we're going to be better each and every week. And that's the bottom line.
Ryan Sieg told me in post-race, Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio and Catchfence.com. Ryan Sieg told me at 36 years old and at 342 starts, he wasn't afraid to put you in the wall of him and winning that race. Were you prepared for anything coming down the stretch?
No, pretty much no. Like, I was like, oh, I'm on his outside. We're even. We're gonna be banging doors a little bit here. That first hit going into the first set of the trial, that was a big hit. I was like, oh my God, it shocked me. So I was like, I had to keep my arms like straight and locked, and he just kept running me up, and I was just like, I'm gonna try to keep my momentum up, because the more you run into someone, the more you kill your own momentum more than theirs. So I just tried to stay off of him and keep my momentum up, and I think that was probably the difference. If I would have started doing it back to him, he probably would have had to win because of distance. So I did the best to what my knowledge is, and obviously it worked out today, but there's always days where it's going to be different each and every time.
And can you just talk about working with Marty over the years? I mean, you guys have been together since you were 15 years old, and I'm just wondering what it's been like to have that constant in your career.
Yeah, Marty, I mean, first off, I want to go back to the other question. I want to say, like, racing Ryan there at the end was a blast. Like, that's what Xfinity racing's all about. And props to Ryan for getting that lead on that restart. Like, I was like, holy crap, he came out of a cannon and shot out there. But yeah, working with Marty has been a huge blessing. He is probably the smartest person in the garage area. Like I said, we brought something brand new, and my engineer and myself doubted him for a little bit, and we executed, we fixed it, got the details down, and it ended up having a lot of speed. And so it's been great working with him, because he figures out my driving style. He figures out what I need depending on the racetrack. And now that we're going to all these places for a second time, he's able to go to work and really get it better. So having Marty by my side is a true blessing. It's been a lot of fun, and we've grown together, obviously, and we've won a lot of races with each other and without each other. But man, it's been a lot of fun having him on board and bringing him up the ladder kind of with me. He did trucks on his own, and I jumped to Xfinity, but bringing him back over and kind of taking that step with him has been a lifesaver.
Go next to Tad, then to Wyatt.
Over here behind the giant ice cream, custard, excuse me. Tad Hazel of NASCAR.com, saying you had a lot of success on the ARCA platform a few years back. Obviously a lot of short tracks, but a few speedways here and there. What did you learn from that platform that you continue to apply to your career today that allows you to have the kind of success you had today?
Yeah, it's tough to kind of answer that, because I only did probably 3 or 4 big tracks in ARCA, and I did no big tracks in trucks. So jumping to Xfinity and learning a new car and learning all these racetracks all at the same time. I mean, Shane SVG is doing that right now. and obviously it's it's hard. Like he's a world champion, and he's still learning. Really, it's really hard. But for me, having to do that back in the COVID era where there was zero practice and qualifying, it was really tough. It set me back. So not being able to do a lot of those big tracks on ARCA and doing only short tracks, like granted, my racecraft got really good, but figuring out speed and balance on the big tracks, I was lacking in that. But obviously Marty, same as ARCA to Xfinity now, he's taught me pretty much everything himself. And he's put good people around me to help teach me the things he can't do. And, I mean, it just gels and mixes really, really well to obviously get winning race cars put together and execute on the racetrack and get a nice, beautiful custard right in front of me.
Go next to Wyatt.
Sam and Wyatt Watson with FrontStretch.com. First off, this win obviously gets you locked into the playoffs, essentially. How much of a burden does that take off your back after the start to the year that y'all's team has had? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how interesting and unique is that trophy that's sitting next to you in your whole career?
So back, I think it was 2022 when Noah won this one. I was like, I'm jealous of that trophy. It is so cool. And he actually came over in Victory Lane, and we were like, hey, you want to compare cones? But it's really cool. Like this trophy, I've been wanting it since 2022 when Andy started sponsoring this race. And I said it in Victory Lane, this is going to be my centerpiece in my dining room table. So I'll make sure to post that on social media so you guys can see that later. But yeah, I'm just super proud of everyone part of this organization, and learning these racetracks is really tough, but it's really fun to do with Marty.
Do we have any additional questions for our race winner? We'll go on the back there.
Steven Stump, FrontStretch.com. Sam, first of all, congrats on the win. You know, and it's a win we'll probably be seeing, you know, forever and ever in terms of, you know, commercials and so on. But I know race car drivers would never trade a win for anything, but I guess is there some bittersweetness knowing that the win had to come against a guy who's been trying for almost a decade to get his first win?
Yeah, I mean, like that's the last person you want to beat in a close finish like that when he's like, I have so much respect for the whole Sieg organization and Ryan himself. Like I said earlier, it was a blast getting to race with him. This track became really racy out of nowhere in stage 3, and he was fast, like really fast. So it was really tough racing him and racing him hard because I'm like 7 to go, I'm sitting there in second, like trying. And I'm like, man, I do not know if I can close this gap up. And I'm like, I'm going to let the 39 win this race. Like, he deserved it because his car was really, really good today. And he executed everything perfect. And I was like, man, I'm going to let this guy win this race. And then all of a sudden, Kevin came in and said, you run the bottom 3 and 4, and then the gap closed like nothing. So I was like, I almost like was in give up mode, like just win the dash for cash, like keep the 7 behind me. But I think the cards all kind of fell in the right spot. And obviously the 39 was slipping a little bit. He doesn't have as much resources as I do, like learning. So like I know a little more here than probably he does about racecraft. But it was really cool to race him at the end.
Thank you.
Any additional questions for Sam? Sam, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the custard. Dine well this evening. We can't wait to see your home and garden tips soon on social media.
Thank you so much.